Good morning, afternoon, whatever time you see this, evening. So I'm out here at the ocean journaling, and one of the questions I was deciding to kind of ask myself in reflection is, well, what's one thing that I could talk about today that feels needed? And what came through immediately was compassion for the human spirit and non-attachment. And I thought about it for a second, and I was like, okay, what is that supposed to mean? But what I think it means is that as a person who is struggling in love or with your partner or finding love, there needs to be a level of compassion for yourself throughout this journey, as well as a level of compassion for the partners that you've encountered that maybe didn't work out, or the parents in your life that maybe didn't love you the way you needed to be loved and left you with all this wounding. When we can find compassion for every single component of our journey, knowing that at the end of the day, everything is supposed to be exactly as it is in order to help us heal, grow, learn, expand, level up, whatever. And when we can understand that every single piece has a place in our hearts, has a place for our spirit and for our soul and its evolution, for our being here on this earth, then we can practice this additional layer of non-attachment, right? So if someone comes into your life and they are so triggering and they mirror everything that has been so painfully reflected over the course of your life, if you have this compassion for, well, okay, I understand that this is a trigger that I have to heal from still, and that this person is obviously wounded as well, which is why they are pressing my triggers, and that I don't need to continue to be tortured in this relationship. I don't need to continue to put up with the mistreatment, but I do need to identify why I'm still feeling triggered, or why I'm still calling in these types of relationships to my life. Because again, where we are wounded, that's kind of what we attract unconsciously, so that we can heal it. So when we can practice that level of compassion, there is this sense of relief in knowing that it's just an opportunity to grow and to expand and to learn a new lesson, and that it's not necessarily meant to be in our life forever, but just for this experience to help us blossom into the spirit and to the soul that we're supposed to be. And if we could just allow ourselves to really learn how to date from that place, learn how to be in partnership from that place, that sometimes we make decisions about people, maybe too quickly, too readily, because part of our spirit is still longing for that quick validation. So when we can heal and see that with compassion and this non-attachment, this non-judgment, just knowing that it's a part of our journey and that it was always supposed to be a part of our journey, then there's just this ease, this release. And it's funny because I started this whole journaling thing talking about, it started about nature and how nature really isn't doing the hard thing. Like the tides come and they go, the flowers bloom in the spring, and they die off in the winter, and it's just this cyclical nature, right? It's nature, and we are a part of nature, and yet we forget that we are. So there are some things that are just seasons in our life, and there's some things that are like years, right? It's like it is the eons of our life. They're supposed to be lasting. And so if nature has this ease and this flow and this cycle, then shouldn't we also have the same ease and flow? Why do we make everything so darn hard? And I think a part of that is conditioning. Part of that is what we've been taught by our parents and what we've been taught by society and the world. And I just really believe that there is a way for us to live in this world with ease and flow. Not that it will always be easy, because some seasons in our life will really test us to expand. And with expansion comes a lot of pressure, it comes a lot of like resistance typically, because it pushes us outside of our comfort zone. So it won't always be easy, but there's an ease to it, there's a flow. And if we could just practice more compassion for ourselves and for the people who come into our lives, even if they're so wounded that they're hurting us, then we have less attachment to the outcomes, to all of the expectations about what life is supposed to look like. When we practice with flow, I don't know about you, but every single spring, just like every single sunset and every single sunrise, it happens every day. But when I have the opportunity to just sit and reflect on it, I am amazed by how spectacular and beautiful it is. So wouldn't that be the same in our lives, right? If we are also a part of creation, if we are also a part of nature, if we were to just follow the cycle, follow the flow with non-attachment, but in reverence and gratitude and compassion, then we would be amazed at how far we would come. We'd be amazed at the people that showed up in our lives and the partnerships that we were allowed to have, that we allowed ourselves to have, versus always fighting against and fighting the resistance, or resisting the expansion, really. That's what it is, resisting the expansion. So if this resonates with you, please let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any interest of getting to know a little bit more about how I help people heal the relationship stories, how I help people heal their hearts after traumatic relationships and traumatic relationship experiences, and honestly how I help people just find themselves again, have this deep love and compassion for their own journey, then please go into, find me somehow, DM me, PM me, go into the link in my bio, whatever, and schedule a free breakthrough call. It's 25 minutes. I offer you a free 25 minutes to get to know me, to get to know my heart and my soul, to see if I'm a good fit and to see if we are a good fit. You're vetting me just as much as I have to vet specific clients that I know I can help. So if that is something that you've been feeling the need to do or called to do, then lean into it. Let me help expand you, so that you can find that compassion for yourself and for the love that you really want.